Hello and welcome. I'm Jaime Ocon, and here's what happened this week. The number of migratory birds stopping in northeastern Taiwan has dropped over the last 8 years. Scientists say habitat destruction is to blame, and they're introducing a new farming technique that could help bring the birds back. Yujing Huang has the details.
More space for people and less space for birds. In Taiwan's northeastern Yilan County, human activity is taking a toll on migratory bird habitats. Every year, fewer birds stop here during their annual migration. It's a trend that's worrying scientists.
我们第一年2014年过来这里，深沟这边有非常多的青竹芋跟银斑芋，冬天的时候田里面都是。可是经过这10年，我其实每一年都开始在感觉到说，这些鸟越来越少，非常的明显。
Scientists say the use of pesticides on local farms is to blame. It's used to kill an invasive snail species that eats newly planted rice seedlings. But these chemicals end up damaging the ecosystem, killing the creatures that migratory birds eat. That's why an environmental group called Science in Field is proposing a solution. They're teaching farmers to wait until their seedlings mature before planting them. This way, by waiting a little longer and working a little harder, they can grow rice without pesticides or pesky snails.
大秧这个方法，我们就是必须从种子的撒播，然后到就是照顾大概40到50天之后，然后用特殊的插秧机，然后进行插秧这样子。我们希望不使用任何的，不管是化学或天然的资材，来防治福寿螺，那减少对这边水生生物的冲击。
But is it working? The group held a fishing competition in the community to find out. Counting the results gave them a pretty good idea of their new program's impact. It's also helped increase awareness and get the community involved.
水沟你平常不会去理它这样子，但是因为参加钓鱼大赛，你就会发现水沟里面其实有很多你不知道的东西，然后这个就很像在玩宝可梦一样，你会有得到很多意外的惊喜。
And the results are in. As more and more farmers join this effort, more and more fields are able to support birds. Scientists hope this success is the first step in bringing the birds back and teaching people to coexist with nature. Ethan Pan and Yujing Huang for TaiwanPlus.
It's been 6 months since Taiwan signed into law its goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050. That's in line with many other countries around the world. But what exactly is net zero, and is Taiwan on track to keep its climate promises? Sally Jensen takes a look.
The world is feeling the impacts of the climate crisis.
It's now indisputable that the climate crisis is one of the top security threats, not just to the developed world, but to the entire planet, to life on the planet itself.
To stop this threat to life on the planet, scientists agree that humanity must drastically cut its greenhouse gas emissions that have caused the planet's average temperature to rise. But that's harder than it sounds. Key industries like aviation and manufacturing rely heavily on fossil fuels. And at the moment, it doesn't look like humanity will be able to cut its emissions quickly enough. Instead, governments and companies have set a target of net zero emissions. But what exactly does that mean?
It's a simple slogan that represents a big idea. World leaders have agreed that greenhouse gases need to be removed from the atmosphere at the same rate as they are being released. A balance or net zero.
More than 70 United Nations member states have agreed to achieve this by the year 2050. And so has Taiwan, one of Asia's biggest per capita emitters.
Therefore, on this critical issue of climate change, Taiwan is determined to join the world in working towards the goal of net zero emissions by 2050.
Taiwan's net zero policy has 4 main pillars: transitions in energy, industry, lifestyle, and society. To reach this goal, Taiwan is relying heavily on using renewable energy. The country hopes that using more renewables will also bolster the country's energy security and self-sufficiency in the face of a growing threat from China.
Net zero strategy have implication in terms of the national security. So they said we can lower our energy dependence.
Around 280 companies account for 80% of Taiwan's greenhouse gas emissions. Important to global tech supply chains, 25 of them have committed to going net zero, largely due to pressure from their international clients. And as some try to expand renewable energy, others are also looking to find ways to remove greenhouse gases from the air. And this is where net zero hits a roadblock. While there are natural ways of absorbing emissions, like through planting forests and improving soils, removing emissions costs a lot, and the technology doesn't yet exist at the massive scale needed. There's also the risk of so-called greenwashing. That's when companies make net zero pledges but turn to offsetting schemes to continue polluting as before.
Commitments to net zero are worth zero without the plans, policies and actions to back it up. Our world cannot afford any more greenwashing, fake movers or late movers.
But is Taiwan on track to meet its net zero goals? The transition to renewables appears to be meeting targets. But when it comes to reducing emissions, reaching net zero by 2050 looks like a steep challenge. Complicating matters, for some people, the rollout of solar and wind farms is happening too fast, creating conflicts over land with a number of local communities. What's more, Taiwan's exclusion from UN climate mechanisms means the country does not face the same international pressure to stick to its net zero goal, nor can it participate in climate negotiations. Meanwhile, the climate crisis is rapidly accelerating, driving disasters across the world. With no sign of improvement, those feeling its worst impacts question the whole concept of net zero. The planet is rapidly heating up, and Taiwan is determined to show itself as a climate leader on the world stage. But its climate action ranks consistently low compared to other countries. So for Taiwan at least, the long road to so-called net zero by 2050 may not be as smooth as it hopes. Howard Zhang and Sally Jensen in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
The southern city of Kaohsiung has developed a reputation as the go-to place for live music in Taiwan. Star acts from Blackpink to Backstreet Boys have performed there. It's also the host for several big music festivals, including the Kaohsiung Beer Rock Festival. Ed Moon was there for this year's event, which featured stars of both Taiwanese and Korean pop.
Kaohsiung, the southern city, is known for its good weather, large port, and increasingly, its ability to attract the world's biggest music acts. The Kaohsiung Beer and Rock Festival has been a highlight of the city's music calendar for years. But because of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is the first time it's been held since 2019. A long wait for festival goers.
The gates have just opened here in Kaohsiung for the Beer and Rock Festival. Some people have been here queuing overnight, and they're here to see just one person, K-pop superstar Jessie.
Jessie, I love you!
Some people queued overnight to secure their place at the front, and they were eager to show their support for their favorite artists.
看 Jessie， 来看 Jessie 的。
那你为什么喜欢 Jessie？
因为我很喜欢她的风格，对啊，来台湾很难得。
But with the headliner not set to take the stage until late in the evening, there was plenty of other entertainment to keep everyone in high spirits. As the event's name suggests, beer was high on the agenda, and plenty was available, along with other refreshments much needed on a day where temperatures spiked into the mid-30s. Before the main event, some of Taiwan's biggest acts took to the stage, from punk to R&B and hip-hop. They kept the crowd energized in the sweltering heat.
Kaohsiung, make some noise! Oh my God!
And with the sun set, it was time for the headline acts, Jessie and fellow K-pop stars Mamamoo. Jessie and Mamamoo pleased the crowd on their first ever visits to Kaohsiung, proving that after years of closed borders, Taiwan is once again a go-to location for international artists. And as the festival ended, these fans were left looking forward to their next chance to celebrate the port city and see their music idols up close. Kaohsiung, Yvonne Yang, and Ed Moon in Kaohsiung for TaiwanPlus.
Every summer, people in Taiwan lay out offerings for Ghost Month, which is the 7th month on the lunar calendar. Now, a 300-year-old temple in Taiwan's southern city of Jaime is giving an ancient tradition a modern twist. Yu Jing-Huang takes a look.
A tale of life, loss, and celebration. This is Wish, a short film made by creatives from Taiwan's southern city of Chiayi. Wish uses slick presentation and religious imagery to explore Taiwanese folk traditions and to raise awareness about the place some of the story is set, Chiayi's 300-year-old city god temple.
年轻的创意，然后把这个故事借由艺术文化把它串联起来，真的再是感动。
The film has been released as the temple prepares to host its annual Zhongyuan Festival event in the middle of Ghost Month, the 7th month of the lunar calendar. This year, it falls at the end of August. It's a time when spirits are said to walk the earth. Around the country, offerings are laid out for wandering souls who died without a family. Though this may sound somber, the festival in Chiayi comes with a lighter, more modern twist. There will be live music performances at the temple this year. And there's even a famous name on the set list, Zheng Ka-lang, who plays songs inspired by local folklore with elements of traditional Chinese music, will play a number of shows during the festival. Temple organizers hope the event, and the short film that goes with it, will bring more people to the area and help revitalize interest in its historic temple among young people especially. Justin Wu and Yu Jing-Huang for TaiwanPlus.
A religious festival in northern Taiwan is swapping real pigs for piggy banks. That's instead of ritually sacrificing force-fed pigs. Bryn Thomas has the story.
These piggy banks in Hsinchu in northern Taiwan are saving Morven money. They're standing in for so-called god pigs, traditionally sacrificed during religious festivals of the ethnic Hakka minority group. These god pigs were traditionally force-fed until they were too fat to walk. After being weighed in a competition, they were ritually slaughtered. Their skin would then be stretched across a metal frame and mounted on display. It was a practice that many came to find inhumane. That's why some are exchanging real pigs for pots shaped like pigs.
以环保的角度来说，就是这样就比较好啊，就是不用杀猪。
The killing of pigs over the Lunar New Year and at the Hakka Imin festival is an old tradition. But as these festivals became more controversial, the crowds they attracted have also declined. Some practitioners in Hsinchu are now using ceramic piggy banks stuffed with coins. The piggy banks are weighed, and at the end of the festival, the money is donated to charity. It's a change many, including the pigs, are welcoming. Andrew Xue and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Two of Taiwan's four-legged heroes are looking for a good home. Kaohsiung and Tui Tui are 10-year-old rescue dogs based in the central city of Taichung. They helped save people after an earthquake in the eastern Hualien County in 2018 and the massive quake that devastated Turkey and Syria earlier this year. But now they're getting older and have some health issues. City officials have approved the dogs' retirement and are inviting interested local residents to apply to adopt them.
谢谢你们奉献生命最黄金的时期为国家付出，希望认养者可以更加爱护你们。
Thank you for watching. Here's what happened. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave with the images of some really cute Siberian tigers. They're getting ready to be released into the wild. I'm Jaime Ocon. Take care and see you next week.